All right, welcome back everybody to another easy DIY. Today we are going to be changing the spark plugs on this 2018 Audi Q5. One of the easiest DIYs you could do yourself or do it yourself. So let's go ahead and get started. What I have done is I have taken everything apart previously. And these are the tools that I use for the job. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I previously came in here and took everything off, so everything's gonna come off pretty easily. Okay, so what we wanna do first is get these hoses that are gonna be in the way off. So we got this hose right here. We're gonna need to put that to the side, and we're gonna need to pop this off and put it to the side also. Okay. So try to get a 10 mil with the deep socket because we're gonna need it for the one underneath. All right, make sure you don't lose any of this stuff because I happened to lose one of these earlier, and that made the project a little bit longer, or it's gonna make it a little bit longer. So you have a 10 mil on top of the grounding wire. You take the grounding wire and you have another 10 mil holding down. Ignition coil, that's what it's called. So with these little connections here, you're gonna want to pop this red tab first. It pops out real easily, and then you get like a small screwdriver. You kind of push up and you'll notice it just pops. Just push down this clip right here and then pull and it'll come out. And I previously did all this earlier just to make it easier for the video. I had pulled out all of these coil packs also. And so when you're removing the coil pack, make sure you're kind of pulling it evenly, but it should come out pretty easily. I had already removed these, like I said previously. So we get our long extension, start removing our spark plugs. All right. Plug looks good actually. Probably didn't need changing yet, but Audi calls for these to be changed out. I believe it's every 40,000 miles. So this one's a little past due. So as you can see, the old one looks pretty good still, but just being done as preventative maintenance. But make sure you got the right spark plug and make sure that the gaps are correct. In this case, the gaps are supposed to be 0.030 seconds of an inch. So you want to use one of these things to check. Just go ahead and just kind of slide it in there and check and make sure. They usually come pretty spot on from the factory. So you go ahead and replace one at a time. What we want to do is hand thread it first. Gotta get the torque wrench. So hand tighten first, and then go ahead and torque her to 30 foot-pound-feet of torque or 22 Newton meters. There we go. Then we'll go ahead and put the coil pack back on. Make sure they don't get mixed up. And we'll repeat the process.
Check the plug, looks good. The oil or the plug was wet, then it'll be a bigger problem, but since these plugs are dry.
All right, so this is what all the old spark plugs look like. As you can see, they are in pretty decent shape, and technically they probably didn't need changing, but it's not going to hurt to put new ones in and keep up with the maintenance they recommend. And these, if you pick them up like from like Rock Auto where I got them, I think they were like under $10 a piece. Make sure they're seated in there pretty well, properly. Of course, once you get them loose, they're gonna feel kind of more loose. All right, we can start putting stuff in reverse order. And so the hardest part was trying to probably get these things off or get them aligned also. Because they don't really want to go in at the same time. We want to make sure these click back in. Just like that. And start putting everything back. I figured that'd go in. This is the only one having problems with. There we go. Boom. So everything else is pretty much in reverse order from here. The only thing left is to torque these down. And this first one I'm putting in calls for 10 Newton meters. I'll have a torque wrench that goes that low. I would just hand tighten it. Should be fine. Just don't go too crazy with it. There we go. That already clicked. And again, the top one calls for 7 Newton meters. I am going to I'm just gonna hand tighten this one, or we'll just use the torque wrench again. I just won't even click it. All right, and then you can put this thing back on. You put this hose back over here. And everything else is in reverse order. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. If you've changed spark plugs before, you could totally do this. That's the good thing about these 4-cylinders is they're easier to work on with stuff like this. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you found this helpful.